Mayor Bass, great to see you. Thanks for doing this. So we just were on a panel talking about LA's wildfire recovery. Real quickly, where are we at?
Well, we're doing well in terms of the recovery part. Phase one of removing the hazardous materials and now the debris has gone very well, very fast, faster than other fires. And the Army Corps of Engineers has cleared over 1,300 lots, which means that's 1,300 families that, if they choose, can begin rebuilding right now.
What's next in terms of permitting, and is there a way to speed that process up?
Well, actually, it is going very, very fast. The departments are under obligation to finish the permitting within 30 days. We are looking at ways of doing it even faster, though, using artificial intelligence, using self-certification. So those are going to be programs that we roll out in the very, very near future. But I will tell you that 37 properties have already been permitted to rebuild, and I've been to at least 2 properties where rebuilding is underway. And that might not sound like a lot.
Oh, and you got 7,000 properties.
When you have 7,000 properties. However, if you view it in comparison to other situations, other locations where fires happen here in LA or in other cities, we are months and months ahead.
Let's talk broader.
And by the way, it's really up to an individual family as to when they choose to rebuild. So we have over 200 individuals that are in the process now, and those should be completed within 5 to 6 weeks.
Now, all this is happening at the time when the city's got a $1 billion budget shortfall, and we saw your budget. Now, city council's kind of coming with a counter proposal and working through that.
That is the process.
What does it mean, that shortfall, for the average person living in LA? How is it going to affect their life?
For the average person living in LA, I don't think it will have much impact, but what it will mean is that there's so many more things that we need to do that we're not going to be able to make significant progress on. So we'll have to figure out the basics and to continue to make progress, because in 14 months the world will be here for the World Cup. So when I'm talking about basic city services like your trash pickup, street repair, light repair, we will find ways to do it.
I mean, is that going to get cut?
It's not, well, there are cuts, but no. What I was saying is that I don't think they will see a significant reduction, but I'm not satisfied with that. I want there to be more progress made.
And another big, so one of the questions is, could you get more money from somewhere else? Probably not going to get it from Washington on that front, right? But could you get more money from the state?
Well, you better believe that I'm looking to see if we can bring in more resources from everywhere, from the private sector, from the public sector. Of course, I was in Sacramento a couple of weeks ago. I'm in constant contact with our legislators. The governor has been absolutely amazing through this whole process. And so we do have requests in. We do hope that they will be honored. Of course, the state has its challenges as well. But clearly we need help here, and I'm hoping that that help is coming. At the same time, I am still focused on Washington and getting relief there, and I'm happy so far that this administration has honored what the Biden administration put in place, which was 100% reimbursement for FEMA, and the administration has flooded us with resources, which is why the debris removal and all of that has happened so quickly.
So if you get more money from Washington or Sacramento, some of those potential layoffs would potentially go away.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
Another big issue, the signature issue for Southern California, is homelessness. Where are we at in terms of that? And how does this budget situation impact the ability to handle that?
Well, you know, it certainly does, but I'm happy to say that we've had the first decline in street homelessness in years. 2 years ago, we're waiting for the numbers now from 2024. But all indications is that street homelessness still continues to go down. But understand, we are the epicenter of homelessness in the entire United States. And so there is much more that needs to be done. And you know very well that we have a broken system that's been broken for decades. So while we are moving to improve the system, we cannot let up on ending street homelessness.
And in terms of the entertainment industry, it's such an important part of Southern California. There's been talk about it not only in the state, which is looking at doing a big tax credit, but now President Trump is looking at doing something, talking about tariffs or maybe some sort of tax credit. What do you make of President Trump weighing in?
Well, let me just tell you that I'm concerned but we're not clear yet. We haven't seen anything in writing. But the idea that if you are a U.S. company and you film overseas, that now your taxes are increased while we're all lobbying to have the tax breaks from Sacramento, we don't want that to happen. But as of right now, we don't have clarity from what the president is proposing. But I will tell you that in the city of Los Angeles, we're looking to do whatever we can to make filming easier. So waiving permits, decreasing the number of city staff that have to be on lots, and maybe hiring somebody directly from the industry to come work with us in the city.
So Jon Voight, the well-known actor and big Trump supporter, is one of the president's ambassadors on this issue. You met with him, right?
I had lunch with him last week. It was a wonderful meeting and talking about what we can do to improve and save our industry. This is one of our foundational industries, and we need to all rally behind the tax breaks as well as what we can do to make filming easier here. Now, when I met with him, the president hadn't proposed the idea of taxing overseas production.
Do you think that Jon Voight is listening, or could maybe be a go-between on you guys?
I absolutely think that. I think he's close to the president. Now, I've not talked to him since the president came out with this potential new proposal, but I tell you, I will be reaching out to him to say, please call your friend, because we don't want to put a tax on U.S. companies who film overseas for a variety of reasons.
And finally, we're at this big global conference, people from 80 countries coming to Southern California, to our home, as we host it. What's the big message you want them to take away from this week, from seeing our region?
I want them to know that we welcome the world, and we're going to be welcoming the world in a big way in 14 months. That Los Angeles is open for business, that they should invest here. We have many nations from around the world that do tremendous amount of business here. And hopefully, after their stay here, we might have a few more.
We hope so. Great to see you. Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate you.